Welcome, everyone. And tonight is Monday, a very beautiful, beautiful Monday. Tonight is our review show of The Shy, Season 6, Episode 14. Moving right along. The gang's here, and, we're ready to go. What's up, y'all?
Hey,
What's going on?
Everything's well. Still a little delay on my part. Just a couple things going on, but, we're here. We're here. And, episode 14, I think Keisha did it 2 weeks ago. Dwayne did it. I did it last week. Dwayne, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll start. It was decent. You know, I could nitpick on some things, but it was decent. I'm very interested in the Nook, Keisha, Emmett, blended family situation. I'm interested in that. It's interesting to me. It seems a little bit like the roles have reversed between Rashawn and Vic. Seems like Rashawn got his stuff together now, and Vic kind of don't. You know, he got off because it was taken care of by Alicia, Lady Eloise. Took care of the situation for her, so he got off. I don't understand the whole Quincy cheating on his boyfriend with his ex-boyfriend because the dude still deals with Duda. I don't know. You dealing with a street dude and Victor. I don't know what they're doing with Gemma's father and old girl and that relationship. So I'm sending out an SOS for Tracy. Where my baby at? Where my baby at? You know, the brat is back with Nina. So there's a lot going on. But one thing I find interesting, and then I'll pass it off, is Shad pulling off Duda. And usually when you pull on Duda, it doesn't end well for you. So I want to see, and he liked it. He had that little smile on his face at the end there. So yeah, but I thought it was decent.
I'll go. Well, I thought even continuing from last week's review show, I think that they really miscalculated how the fans will react. And I know that they're speaking to a younger demographic, but Leon is such a good actor. I think them killing him off. It was like Dwayne said to me earlier during the week. What was the purpose of even him being this high-profile lawyer if she already had the judge in pocket? No purpose whatsoever. She knows that Victor didn't kill her brother and Duda has something to do with it, but she knows that Victor was there. So Alicia ultimately has plans for Victor as well. It may not be to kill him. It may be just to control him. I thought the episode was, I think Lena Waithe and her staff of writers are going a little bit overboard with this LGBTQ agenda. And let me clarify what I mean. I'm not talking about LGBTQ people and their lifestyle and who they choose to sleep with. That is their choice. I'm talking about the overall throwing it in our face, sex scene after sex scene. I think they're trying to prove something instead of just showing a good show, good product, because most people don't want to see nobody's sex scenes all day within a movie or a show. Gemma's father and this girl, where are we going with this? Where are we going? Marcus want to be him. Marcus just wanted, a trophy piece. He ain't really beat to be all coupled up. He out with the fellas. She at home talking about where were you? All this old weird stuff. I thought that was kind of crazy. The whole Nook Tiff scene, I think, was a throwaway scene. But talking to both of you guys, Tiff is an aspirational person. Rob is not street enough for Tiff. We see what Tiff is about. Her paper. She want to be a boss. She's going to need a guy that's going to be able to match her energy. And I'm surprised that Alicia hasn't been mentoring her a little bit more because she know her son. Rob is just too slow for this. What's going on? I do think the Nook, Keisha, Emmett dynamic, it's a bit strange and a bit late. I don't think Emmett's feeling it. I don't think Emmett is going to like it, and I think ultimately going forward, it may cause a wedge in their relationship. I didn't like the scene with the brat. The brat is such a beautiful young lady. I know she probably filmed her scenes while she was pregnant. However, the brat, with all due respect, like I said, she's a beautiful woman. The brat looks horrible in this show. She looks bloated, big, clothes outdated. She just doesn't look. She doesn't even look attractive at all. She's just like a big roly poly. Um, but other than that, I thought the episode was on par to what they've been doing since they've been back. You know, solid episode and so forth. Keisha.
Okay, well, I hated it. Okay, Rashad being the gangster, all I hear is him singing, being Simba, and he can't wait to be king. It's not, it's not translating with me in that dead man jacket on. Like, Tiff is for the streets. We've been known Tiff is for the streets. She got pregnant by Emmett. Emmett was a hustler. But do we want to go down this road again of her dating someone that Keisha dated first? Because Keisha dated Emmett first too. Alicia, so from my understanding, Big Rob, he got the case first. And he's the one that told Alicia that Victor didn't have anything to do with her brother. I didn't understand the whole scene of them running down on Doodah for what. What else did I hate about this episode? What's his name? Long. Like.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Why do we keep bringing these new characters in, and we ain't did nothing with some of the characters that we had? The only shining spot that I did like in the episode was Jake and Victor. I like that dynamic. I like the family dynamic. I like the brotherhood dynamic. Victor got to get out of his own head. You're not alone. Whatever happens to you will have an impact on Jake. Jake is young, but Jake is wise beyond his years. Bakari's sister confiding in Maisha and Gemma. I don't know if she would have really confided in Maisha. Where are we gonna go with that? Because if I was Maisha, I would tell. What else? It was just so much. To me, it was a cluster. Back to the Jackie Long. Like, what's the purpose of him? Would the father even have him working there with Emmett and the other brother? Oh. And this guy has, he's mad that he done did all these years for this kid, and this kid ain't became nothing. Like, I don't even care where that story is going. And I think that Jackie Long is a fantastic actor. The gay girl wanting a gun to protect her. What kind of cat does Candy have? Like, that was a stretch for me. It's just I like the Kadeem and the Doodah little dynamic as well. So I guess it was some bright spots, but now you backtracking. Like, oh, we can't write the book, I can't work for you. So if you knew Doodah as a kid, why did you even go over there? Like, so I'm not understanding some of the filler of the storylines. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to continue to say, I didn't know if I knew this before. I always felt like Lena Waithe hates black men. But I took it from a straight black man's perspective. Now I feel like maybe she just hates black men. I mean, I get it. The consistency, especially from a straight thinking, is that gay men are promiscuous.
Mm-hmm.
So because you mad at your dude and y'all in a committed relationship, I believe they fiancés or whatever, this is what he does. I didn't like it. All gay men ain't out here being promiscuous and cheating. I didn't like it at all. The brat and the Nina, like, girl, live your life. But I just don't understand why. I would rather see her at gay clubs. I would rather see her developing some gay friends. I would rather see her develop into her sexuality instead of just putting her in a relationship with another woman. Like, she given her cat a break. It was that lady in the beginning that she left her husband for. Then Dre. And now she cheated on Dre with the brat. So now it's gonna be the brat.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, right? Because why haven't they given us a scene of Tracy like being apologetic for bringing the ex back into the picture?
Why? What's Bakari's Lene? Why haven't we seen her with Lene?
Absolutely.
Why haven't, like, what's their home life looking like?
And she referenced it like, I got another kid in here.
Yeah, but and then why Keisha act like she said, me and Kevin going, you can do whatever you want. What? She got another kid in the house.
Kid in there.
And I also didn't like Maisha, who's one of the smartest kids they have in the whole series. She's gonna be a photographer instead of going to college. From the Maisha, that's going backwards in her character development. I don't believe that.
And they need a stylist for her.
Got a couple comments real quick I want to read you guys.
Okay.
Crystal said, might I say Leon was looking mighty good, LOL. I love the dynamic of Keisha and her mom connecting. Gemma is confused about what she wants to do. I'm disappointed in Papa. It's all over the place. Supporting
we didn't even touch Papa.
Yeah.
Supporting Gamer said, I wonder if T.I. and Evan Ross will make an appearance in this show and reunite with Jackie Long and Rashad. Crystal said again, I think the First Lady is trying to trap Jake somehow, and I think the pastor is bad news. Not sure why yet. Yeah, he got that burn on the side of his neck with Duda.
I mean, the pastor is definitely bad news, but again,
the season 6 is alternate universe supporting gaming.
Papa would have discernment.
Right, he would.
The whole
when that man gave him that money.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing. I don't think he would have if he would have offered Papa the money. The Papa that we know would not have took that money.
Right.
Papa would have been so focused on the word. I think that the pivot they've taken, they continue to take it, and you can see it episode to episode. I think not following up, like the dude got a burn on his neck messing with Duda. Not following up with the story a little bit more after that is like crazy. And like Dwayne said, where's Tracy? Y'all bring Lala back for one episode? Like, where y'all going with this? And then the Jackie Long character, he don't even talk like this. You got him talking like he's old and just another. So now, Smokies have become a halfway house.
Basically, Darnell is forcing his son to hire everybody. And the thing that don't make sense, like the Jackie Long character, now that Shad is with Lady Eloise, the Jackie Long character should be working with Darnell, doing an odd job.
Yeah, remember Dwayne, we talked about that. He should have gave him a job, not brought him to where your two sons are.
Right.
And then he gonna talk slick to Damien. At the end of the day, you were trying to groom. The way they explained it, you was grooming this young man. Why are you mad at him? Because you had to sit your old ass down and do a bid. I just think it's a little. Sometimes these writers, and I know that art imitates life. Sometimes I just don't think that they've lived anything that they try to write about. or make no reference points because they just be so off base. So now all of a sudden Damien's in charge of the books. His brother, that's his brother's store, and he gonna allow this man to talk slick to him? You see, Damien ain't one of them type of. His character is not like a tough guy.
No, he's not. But he gonna go to Duda for help.
Yeah,
That's what's gonna wind up happening. He gonna go to him for help.
I just think I don't know. They let me down. I had such high hopes, and I tried to watch it because y'all know in the back, behind the scenes, I need a nap. I tried to watch it again. I can't even, because I'm disappointed. Like, you have a love for these kids. What they're doing to Papa is a sin. What they're doing to Papa is a sin. This is a church kid who grew up with, in an area, so he know a little bit of street stuff, but he has discernment with the church crap. Because whether we want to recognize it or not, that's a whole different culture in the churches with their own little things of hierarchy and gossip and all this other different stuff. Papa always liked to dress up. Think about when they was kids.
Mm-hmm.
Papa always was with the thing.
The greatest scene in TV history, if you ask me.
When he played Biggie Smalls. So if his father didn't have a problem with him having a Halloween or participating, which I know it is taboo with some churches.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This man gonna make him have a problem with it?
The problem is you already had Papa questioning stuff with his religion when his father was arrested that time for being
right
and working with Duda. So
and taking money and bribes. Right. So now this gonna sit right with his spirit? I don't think so. And where's his mother? Because if he's hanging around, he 18, but he living in her house. Where's his mother? Church parents are over the top too. Where's his mother?
Her husband then died basically to the streets. She wouldn't have gave up on Papa like that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So I just think that what's bothering me is the negativity of our culture. Like, and I didn't feel like this is what this show is supposed to be about.
I agree with you on that. And one thing that's bothering me, it was funny in the joke. Rashad would not be wearing that man's coat, yo. He would have more pride than that to be walking around with this man's coat. He'd be like, "Nah, I make my own money."
What he say? Get your hands off my woman. Is this Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby?
That's Come on. Said. He said, "Get your hands off my woman." I'm like,
all right. That coat took him to the 70s.
They always tapping into somebody else's line.
He thought he was doing the scene from Let's Do It Again.
Yeah, it took him back to the 70s.
They always tapping into somebody else's line, some other movie's line.
So it was a no for me, dog. I don't know. When is the season over? Like,
got 2
I don't
more
know.
episodes, and you could tell that in this next episode somebody gonna die. So who y'all think it's gonna be? Because I got a thought.
Lastly, Kenya and Zay. Girl, you dating a thug in the hood. Shut up. That bothered me too.
Zay.
You think it's gonna be who?
It's gonna be Zay. Crystal said it's gonna be Bakari.
Crystal said what?
It's gonna be Bakari.
You know who I think it's gonna be?
Who?
I think Duda and Bakari gonna get into it, and I think when they get into it, Brittany gonna be the one that get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can go with that.
Dwayne.
I think it's gonna be her.
Because
you know Bakari headed for a collision with Duda. Especially when he found out, because he probably gonna find out this episode that he paid his sister to spy on him.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
I
interesting
don't
because
know.
if you see at the coming attractions, you see Emmett happens upon whoever it is because he yelling, "Somebody get help!"
Yeah, I didn't even see I didn't even make it to the covered attractions.
Yeah. So somebody gonna
Support.
get it on
Crystal
this
also said the
episode.
professor. It could be Kadeem Harrison,
Could
and
be.
supporting Gaiman said it could be Bakari's sister because she has no storyline.
Because of
She has
why?
no
I'm
story.
sorry.
She has no storyline.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wasn't as sour on it as y'all was. Um, I knew eventually they couldn't keep it up as far as capturing our attention for a whole episode. So I'm taking the small wins that I see out of those episodes, and Keisha gave me another one that I ain't even touch on, and that is the relationship between Jake and Victor. And Victor should lean on his little brother instead of just trying to son him all the time.
Mm-hmm. Crystal also said she thinks Keisha might get pregnant. That's interesting.
I thought she was pregnant too when she didn't make Emmett use a condom.
Right.
They may throw that storyline in there. She might have sex with Nook too, then get
She
pregnant,
may.
and then don't know
No.
who she pregnant by, which would be typical TV stuff.
If we think about it, Keisha done gave that bottom up a lot. The track coach, Nook, Emmett.
Yeah.
Keisha been busy.
Yes, I'm trying to. Rob don't serve a purpose. You know, Alicia. It's like they give us Alicia and then they pull back some. And you just can't see.
I
them
don't
killing
even
Judah
have
off.
a understanding of who Alicia is and why people
Yeah,
are
they
afraid
would.
of her.
It would help if they give us a little bit more of her background.
Hey,
And
Crystal, I know.
she ain't never gonna have ask what happened to her other brother, Sonny.
Yeah,
She don't care
where
about
Emmett
him.
just swindled her out. That's her restaurant, if anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Crystal said, "I'm mad Nook is the baby daddy that threw a wrench on it." Believe it or not, Crystal, by them having Nook be the father, that gave him a storyline because Nook was disposable. Nook served no purpose on this anymore. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know what they want to do with some of these characters. It's like they talk about them for 2-3 episodes, give them a little bit of development, and then they just pull all the way back.
Well, they got to figure it out because they got another season.
They got Smokey
Well, you know, the
going right to Tracy at that community center.
Mm.
and I'm confused about Duda and Zay because Duda, if I'm not mistaken, said to Alicia, "I know you had a secret meeting with Zay." But did he ever call him out on that?
That's the thing. Like, it's crazy, right? Because this is the first time they broached that subject.
And
if
usually,
Duda,
if Duda feel like you crossing him, he gonna kill you.
Exactly.
Right. Why are you so mad at Bakari, but you letting Zay walk around next to you? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Because Duda thought Bakari was going to be his street version Jake. Because that's who Duda loved the most on this whole thing.
Well, I think they dropped the ball with that because I think that they should have followed up with the storyline that maybe Jake is his son.
Right. Which is not a stretch.
Mm-mm.
We know Peaches was out there.
Yeah, and she's a pretty
She was.
They could have really stressed that storyline. They could have did so much more with it.
So we only got 2 more episodes left, and I'm gonna believe that they're gonna finish strong.
From your mouth to Lena's ears.
So, as anybody knows, once we get to a certain part of the show, we do a rating, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. We rate the show. We're very surprised at some of the ratings lately on both shows that we do. So, I'll jump out the window. I'm gonna give this episode a 4.5. It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was the typical almost season-ending episode where it was a filler. I think next week in 16 is going to be better, but I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Dwayne.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Mm-hmm.
It kept my attention. I was able to watch it a second time. It's some bad things in it, but it was enough things that, I'm intrigued to see how it's going to go forward for me to give it a 6.
Well, and I'm coming in with a 2.75.
Crystal gave it a 5. Keisha, you gave the lowest score. What made you what made you do that?
I thought she was gonna go 0.75.
I couldn't watch it again. I think I listed all my grapes.
Yeah, she did. She did a good job.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Do you think, and this is for us, do you think we're being hard on these shows? Because I know how we think when we talk behind the scenes. We always conversate, and I'm glad that we try to be as authentic as possible. We don't be hobnobbing, as Keisha would say. Do you think we're being a little hard on these shows?
I don't know.
No, but I'm gonna say no because we was giving some really strong ratings when this series came back.
Yeah, we was on it early. We was all feeling it.
We were giving. I am
and the reason
disappointed.
The reason why I say this, because I was looking at the last 2 shows in our ratings, and even now listening to what we rated the show, and I was saying to myself, we're rating this show basically 4s and 5s most of the time, and it's really a bunch of bad TV on right now. It's been a bunch of bad TV. I will say after COVID, there hasn't been no shows outside of Abbott Elementary, and
this last
I could say, I could say Hightown. It hasn't been no shows that's really like knocking it out the park. Are we being too harsh?
We could be.
I don't think so because I'm not giving them no good ratings either.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could be, but again, I
feel like this. COVID should have gave y'all enough time to get y'all shit together. From writing, from this, from that, you had all the time in the world.
They should have had enough in the can. Even the writer's strike shouldn't have stopped stuff from happening.
Okay.
But
I mean,
again, if you talk to some of these 20-somethings and then to their 30-somethings, they love it.
I find that with the other show we review, that our perspective may be off from their target market. Yeah. But for this one, I don't think so, because it's a lot of people. I feel like we are connected to it and just watch it. But I feel like all of their target market is like that. We're watching it to catch glimpses of the greatness we have seen before. But on the whole, I think with this show, we're not off the mark with from other people.
Yeah, no, I think I could agree with that. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, and more of these shows is going away. Last season of the other show that we'll be reviewing tomorrow.
Support Gaming said something, Dwayne. I want you to answer this question if you can.
Okay.
Wonder what goes through the actors' minds when they read these horrible storylines. It's work.
They're gonna act, and they need to stay busy, because if we're noticing the trend in Hollywood right now, is they don't want to spend a lot of money on the actors and actresses and the productions of these shows.
I think Gemma said, "What whole shit am I doing this week?"
Yeah.
I think the girl who played Gemma, that's what that's what she
She said
feels.
that?
Yeah, something similar. Yeah.
Wow.
So like I watch another show, and I know we don't review it, but I'ma say it. So I watch a show on CW called All American. And so they got rid of Tay Diggs. Now they introduced another football player who's a freshman in high school. So now what they're saying is the show is gonna go on, but they're gonna refresh it and start back with this kid and do his whole high school and then him going to college.
Because it's cheaper.
It's cheaper. Because you got Daniel Ezra. Not only is he acting in All American now, he's also directing a bunch of episodes. And they just can't pay him.
Yeah, they are having that problem, and we could discuss it with the other show that we do tomorrow. Even we could discuss it now. Like I think that the pivot that these shows is taking far as their resources is you're paying these actors, and they should be paid. You know, I think what they're running, these streaming services are running into, definitely these smaller streaming services like Stars, where they only do 10 episodes. And 10 episodes, and you're not getting sponsorship because they're not getting commercials.
Right.
And what's happening is these actors, like you said, Dwayne, they should be compensated. Amari Hardwick was the face of the network. He said it, and then when you really look at it, it was the truth. He was the face of the network. He should have been making almost $1 million per episode, but you can't pay him $1 million an episode because number one, they don't, like I said, they don't get commercials, and it's only 10 episodes. They're not getting enough out of him to justify giving him that much money. It's better off taking him off the show. And they're basically having two other shows run for 2-3 years after. And then now we know that they're going to have Power Origins, where they're going to talk about Tommy and Ghost's story prior to Power. And Amari Hardwick allegedly is coming back. But how long is that going to last if you're only doing 10 episodes?
Well,
and with that, wouldn't Tommy demand more money now?
He would,
Yeah.
but I think it's going to be interesting because it's a trend in Hollywood. You look at the show NCIS, and Mark Harmon, who was the star of the show, has been off for years. But now they're doing the origin show, and he's coming back to be the voice of young Gibbs.
Mm.
You know, so this is something that all these shows are doing, and the effort of trying to save money. So it's going to be very interesting. You know, you just look at how they're getting rid of, and I will believe Raising Kanan probably going to be coming to an end soon too. But you see, they're trying to come up with ways to get these actors and actresses paid. I don't know if you guys noticed in the credits of the new season of Power Book 2 Ghosts, Mary is getting producer credits this year. They have her listed as one of the producers of the show. And it's just a weird dynamic with her because...
Go ahead, Wayne.
It's even a interesting dynamic with her, which I don't know if she would be happy that this got out, but the whole thing where they were saying the only person that could go on her trailer is Method Man.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, she ain't even trying to build relationships with the people that she's doing the show with, which is weird to me.
Well, because first of all, her name shouldn't be in the producer credits. Tariq's name should be in the producer credits.
And it's an interesting thing. Like when you go back to Raising Kanan, Dwayne, they didn't listen to the fans. I hate to say it. The character that people want outside of Ghost coming back, every fan wants to know who the hell is Breeze. They made this groundswell around a character that we've never been introduced to. So now, if you go back to Origins basically should be the beginning of the end of Raising Kanan.
Right.
The Raising Kanan, like you said, this should be the last season of Raising Kanan, and Origins should be the focus. They should have one show and maybe try to get out 16 to 20 episodes. Because having all these shows, you're not really giving the fans what they want. The fans want Ghost back one, Breeze back, and even with Tommy, I looked at what they said. They said the end of Tommy in Chicago is coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
He would have never started. He would have never been able to go to a major city like that and quote unquote take over.
They messed that show up, in my opinion, when they killed off Liliana.
Mm-hmm.
They killed her off too quick.
They killed off her, then they killed off their father gangster.
Yep.
Last year. I mean, it's just
you had a great, and I could say this: Tommy Flanagan is a great actor. You destroyed him with this dumb accent that didn't make no sense. He's not Irish, and it was too much. It was too strong.
Well, just so like with that girl with the da.
Yeah, down. But with that, I don't have any final thoughts. Looking forward to these next 2 episodes. To be perfectly honest with you, that whole weekend of episode 16 is going to be a blast. So I'm looking forward to that whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I have no final thoughts. You guys got any final thoughts?
Hey, man, I just want them to finish strong. Again, it's going to be interesting to see who actually is the person that's going to get killed off. I don't think it's anybody obvious. That's why I said Bakari's sister. It could be that Duda takes out Zay because he feels like he's been double crossing him, and Duda's a little paranoid now. There was also an interesting scene in the Coming Attractions for next week where the young lady from Girlfriends, I don't know her, but she says to Candy, "What do you have to gain if something happens to Otis?"
Everything. She is wife.
Exactly. And she already the mayor, right? Is she the mayor? Who's the mayor?
I don't even know how.
They have these alderman meetings and never show the mayor.
I don't even know how that
just ran away from the mayor like it was okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's some nonsense, but I voiced my displeasure enough. We'll see what next week brings.
Yes, we'll see.
Well, until then, we'll see you guys next week. You know the routine. The best way to support the channel is to like, share, subscribe. Until then, take care.
Good night.